just when I thought it was finished, we've got ourselves another project. Let me show you. Well, if you're a bigger guy and you know anything about Jeeps, you know what I'm getting ready to do. So, brand new tub, but we're gonna give the driver a little bit more clearance. We're gonna go back at least 4 inches. I think it won't get in the way of anything. So, we're gonna jump in on this project. This is gonna be a quick one. All right, if you're thinking about doing this at home, I'm going 6 inches all the way up. 6 inches from here over. So this is gonna be one of my cuts. Then I'm gonna go 4 inches back. Then I'll come over, cut this angle, which is the same angle as this one. I'm gonna release this with the spot welds, and this will actually be cut here. That way I don't have to fight with that bend, and that's gonna end up being welded. But then I'll cut these spot welds out, hopefully, and then I'll cut it here. By doing that, this all should stay intact. And then coming over on the side, basically, I'm gonna start down here 1 inch up from the bottom. I might go a little closer when I actually get this finalized. But then again, 4 inches back, I'm just kind of following that line up so that that line will be all cut, and I don't have to have a big straight cut. I'll just be able to kind of tack that back together. So I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod and start cutting. So you can see my drill is just right at the spot where it just fits in to get that almost square. The first time I tried it, it kind of walked on me. But I think we have it. So now I'll get a little chisel and just kind of tap on that from the top, see if I can pop that out and see if there's any more spot welds that I can't see. All right. We've got a nice big hole and we've got our piece. So we'll go ahead and start cutting this up so we can start fitting it back in. So right here you can see what is left behind after you use that spot weld cutting tool. So it actually does a pretty nice job, but now it's time to get all this cleaned up and start figuring out putting metal back in. Okay, working on some of the little details. This little line originally came up into here, which is going to be gone. So I went ahead and marked it, cut that out, took the original little nub where it stops, and just kind of got that set. So I'll be able to put that back in, and now it'll look a lot more factory, especially when I put this over it and kind of weld it all together. That'll set back where it needs to be. There's our spot welds. We took them right out. Now I'll be able to plug weld them from the top and then just kind of sand that piece smooth so it'll look pretty good. So that should come together pretty nicely. All right, time to start making some metal. Since this is mostly tacked in, I gotta do a little filling and grinding. That little piece, I think it looks pretty good. Once it's sanded, I think that'll look pretty close to factory. This up here came out pretty nicely. Got the little round edge, need a little grinding there. But now it's time to kind of make a couple pieces of metal. So I'm kind of using just a little piece of scrap as my template, and that seems to fit pretty much all the way across. That gives me my angle. I'll be able to put that piece in. I'm gonna fold it down so it follows the factory one and spot weld it. And then I'll put it in underneath this and flatten this down. And I'll probably weld it like the original with a couple of welds on either end. And then I'll probably try to plug weld it in the middle and then grind them off. So they kind of look like spot welds. Same up here. I'll do 3 or 4 little ones. So let's go make a piece like this out of some decent thickness metal. All right, there's our little panel in, and it is completely flush across. We'll tack it a little bit on the front. That'll be pretty hidden. And then you can see I did get a couple of my pretend spot welds, plug welds that I'm gonna be doing there. I got them a little bit high, and that is gonna kind of catch a little bit on the top of that line, but I think we can keep it so it still looks like a nice bent line. But overall, I think that's gonna be pretty good. We'll get that tacked in, and then our last piece to figure out is that. and we'll get some CAD on that. You guys know what that is. So there is our piece, and here is the piece that I just made. So there we go. You can see I kind of put a little bit of extra top and bottom because this cardboard I cut it just a little bit off. But the other thing I did was I went ahead and put a flange, got that ground down, one on the top, one on the side. So let me set you guys down and see if we can get this installed. All right, our panel is in. It is not perfect, but it is very solid. Did a whole bunch of plug welds, ground them from the back side and from this side. So I think everything here is just about ready to shoot with some primer. I did just a little scuff on it. I am gonna have to take most everything out of the tub and recoat basically the whole inside of the tub. There's not much way to get around it. So this side's gotta be done next. Once I get this side done, then I'll pull the back seat, prep everything, pull everything else out, and tape it off and paint the whole thing. But for now, let's focus on getting that finished. I was gonna show you the inside fender well before I painted it, and then I was painting it and realized, whoops, I had not shown you that. So there is the little box. I went ahead and put a little bit of black paint on it. I'm gonna actually take a little bit of seam seal, go around and just seal up a couple of the little cracks, and then I will get some, I got the bed liner spray that went on it, or the 3M rubberized spray. I'll reshoot that whole wheel well area. So that'll be all nice and back looking, you know, pretty close to the original. You can see how much that intrudes into the wheel well area. That's almost looking straight on at the Jeep. So it does come in a little ways, but it is a long way from the tire. I don't think the tire will ever touch that. All right, so since I'm happy with this side and just a little bit of touch up needs to be done on that, it's time to shift our attention to this side because we don't want our driver sitting way back and our passenger way forward. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. On my first side, I put a lot of tape and a lot of figuring, but now that kind of pays off because I just know right now where I want to cut these and what spot welds, you can see I marked them, that I want to drill to get out. And hopefully with drilling those and cutting it where I've got it marked, I can just pop that piece out real quick and then move this piece back and get it cut out. Forgot to show you guys what it looked like before I primed and painted it. So there's our little box. Again, sticking into our fender well a little ways. I did take the tire off on this side just so I could get in there a little easier. Get this cleaned up, put some paint on it. One thing I'm gonna tell you is this makes a huge mess. So depending on how much you like cleaning up messes, you might wanna take some plastic and put it down, tape it in there, something. Just remember you got a lot of sparks and welding, so don't put something in there that you're gonna end up catching on fire. But it's a mess. All right, this is what I should have done right away. Just taking everything out. This is gonna make it so much easier to not only clean, but to scuff this whole thing and to put a fresh coat of paint on the entire inside floor. That way it blends in and it looks decent. But one thing I did find, before any paint, always test fit everything. So I was test fitting the seat. Right here is where the bracket was, about almost 4.5 inches over. This one on this side is only 2 inches over. And because of where this one sits, back here in this spot, it actually hits the seat frame now that the seat frame shifted over. So I need to move it over a lot closer to what that one is here. So before I took it off, I just kind of made my little lines. I'm gonna touch this off with the grinder and then plug weld these in real good. Moving on. So here's what I decided to do. I cut the nubs off. I actually flipped them so that the bolts were the other way. I do have to use a carriage bolt though to clear right down there. Let me See if I can spin you around so you can see. So I did have to grind a little bit of that out, and I will take just a little bit more. It's nothing structural on the seat, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So I'll get those just a little bit looser fitting, just so they go in and out easier. But you can see the seat sits back in there pretty nicely. Everything's pretty close. Seat belt is, the bottoms are pretty high, so I think we're gonna be all right on our seat belts. And then of course the back fits right in there, nice and snug. So this side is now, I can go ahead and take this apart, scuff some stuff up and get my primer on, and then I need to just finish test fitting the driver's seat, tack those pieces up, and then I can get the seats out of here, get them painted, get the tub painted, and then it's reassembly time. I've vacuumed it out a couple of times, wiped everything down, used Prep-All, and now nothing is left here but to put some paint on. So I am going to be painting basically the top of the toolbox around. I taped off the little stereo box. We'll go over, stay on that side of the tank, and paint all of that. We're just gonna paint the top sides of these. Maybe we'll probably get a little paint up on there, but not going for like way up under, just because we don't really need it. So gonna mix up some paint and get it on here. Okay, most of the back only really needs one coat. So I kind of put a heavy coat on where I did the body work, but unfortunately, all my primer on this side lifted when I went over it with this paint. I've never had that happen before. I don't really know what happened, but now I have to let that dry, completely sand all that back down and recoat it. So a little bit of a delay while I'm at it. I'll go ahead and I'll lightly sand that just to take a little, because I didn't want to touch that. I got real nervous after this failed. So I'll just need to lightly sand a few spots on that. No, actually, I just saw something. Hopefully you can see it. The primer's pulling up on this side as well. Oh boy. Okay, well, we're gonna let this all dry and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. All right, I came out early this morning, sanded everything down and touched up the paint. And so I think both sides look pretty respectable now. I like the overall finish, and I'm really glad that I went ahead and painted the whole back of the Jeep just because it looks a lot nicer and it's all tied together. So time to start putting pieces back in. Small things are happening. We got the back seat back in. Passenger side seat belt is all hooked up. I got to redo the wires going back to my speakers. So getting that done. I got the roll cage as soon as my assistant comes. We're going to put that back in and then finalize the driver's seat. Whew. You know, it's amazing how much stuff you got to put back in when you take it all back out. So, and then you got to be real careful because right now I'm working with pretty fresh paint. So don't want to nick it all up and make it look terrible. I don't want to have to do more touch-ups. So as you know, this has a stereo and the speakers are now moved back to here. So I had to kind of relocate some wires, but I hate when wires are showing. So I tried to sneak them back anywhere I could, notched it through my seatbelt bracket up, and then I have it tucked in here. And the only spot you can kind of see it is back here. I might put one more clip in, but let me show you how I keep those wires up in that little channel. You can see right here, I've got just some little pieces of aluminum. These are cut at 5/8. They can be as long as you want, but I wouldn't get too long because it takes quite a bit of force. But basically you're just going to, whoops, let me set the camera on the tripod and show you how I do it. To do it, you're just gonna wanna kind of take them when they're flat, push them up into this back corner first. Another thing to do is just kind of check and make sure there's nothing up there. All right, so we're gonna just take this, make sure the wire is up and out of the way. Okay, there's that one up in. One's a little bit too big also. All right, I think it's a pretty decent way to do it. As long as those little clips stay up in there, it'll stay out of the way and you don't have to worry about those wires hanging down, looking ugly, dancing around on the fender, or putting them underneath where they're gonna get snagged by something. Another thing to remember, you probably are gonna have to cut these back brackets off and relocate them. I had to move these down just a little bit because my seat kind of did that. And I'll show you on the passenger seat. So here's the seat. It's sitting right where it needs to. The bracket would have been way down, shoving it into the floor, so I would have had to either rebend all this. So instead, I'm just gonna find the new spot, rebend it like I did the other one, and weld it back into position. That way, it's nice and firm. We don't have to worry too much about it pushing down into the floor at all and causing issues. There we go, I got it recut. I just kind of taped it so it holds itself down, put a little tape where it needs to go. Now I'll pop that seat back out, remove the seat cushions so I don't burn anything, get that welded in. All right, here they are. They're all bolted back in. And as you can see, they are pretty even with each other. So we got both the setbacks pretty close. I still got a little bit of paper underneath those because they do have some fresh paint on them. But you can see the gap is pretty well closed up there. And the same there. So the seats are sitting on the little bracket that is back down here on the one side and then on the leg on the other side. Let's see, other details. Oh, I'll jump in here in just a second and show you, but it sure seems like the roll bar is not gonna be a problem. I had my wife jump in and it seems like your head doesn't get too close to it. So let me jump in and show you how much room it looks like we have. All right, let's try it out. Woohoo! This baby's gonna be a cruiser. I kind of like it. It's laid back just enough. Everything seems pretty good on the pedals. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty comfortable driving. A lot of room. All right, I think I like it. Just took it for a test drive, and I gotta say it was very comfortable. Right away, one thing I noticed, when I put these seat cushions in, they're very firm, and when it was in that 4 inches further forward, it seemed like that little spot that usually kind of makes you feel like you're in the Jeep a little bit was sort of not much, but now with it being set back just a little bit, you do feel a little more secure, like you're in the Jeep, like you're not just going to bounce out when you hit a big bump. You're going to kind of go up against the side there. So that part I really like. The pedals are far enough forward. The steering wheel, I think you could almost go back to the big steering wheel. But the little steering wheel, tons of room, and you got plenty of room to move your feet down by the pedals. So overall, a nice driving experience. So hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope if you're gonna do it, that this video helps you or gives you some ideas, maybe something you wouldn't absolutely do. But yeah, like I say, if you're a little bit taller, if you're a little bit bigger guy, or if you got knees that aren't as good as they used to be, setting your seat backs might be just what you need.